Action.
Okay, so this is balance changing 101. This is actually the hardest balance to change. This is a new style. The other ones are smaller and come in separate pieces, so we're going to go slow on this. This has been changed out a few times. It's also easier when there's weight in it. If you'll notice, this window doesn't have any glass in it, so it might move a little on me. If the window is already put into a home, it's actually even easier because there's no movement. So the first thing you want to do, we've already taken the sash out. So you can take a slotted screwdriver, just standard, turn it up, and you want to release it. Now on some of the balances, they have the screws in here. On this new system, this is completely reversible on either side of the other. There's two small screws. We're going to start and remove those. And you don't want to torque it up too much when you put them back in because you will strip them. And if you do, that's not the end of the world. You can always drop the balance down a hair and find a new hole. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure this is moving freely. Like I said, this is going to move a little on me. Now, one thing we want to do is we want to go below the meeting rail because in the event there's any slight ripple after the effect, the sash will help to hide that. You don't want to do it where it's up at the top.
So go below the meeting rail.
Correct. So what you want to do, you think about the balance is probably about 4 inches wide. So you want to kind of cover an area about 6 inches. So you're just eyeballing it. Turn your heat gun on high, and I usually go for about 30 seconds. You don't want to get right on it, maybe about 2 inches away. That's about 30 seconds. And you have to do this somewhat fluidly and quickly because it is... Here it comes. Okay. Now, don't be concerned about this because vinyl has a memory. We're going to be able to heat that back up and smooth that out with a spatula. So, once you get this out, let's...
Show me the balance.
Sure. This is the one type of balance. It hooks up in the back here, and then you can take a tool and hook it back over. So, okay. I mean, it's very simple. They usually come together like this, but you do this part first, and then the second one, it just pushes up and latches the top.
Okay.
So, this will have cooled by that point. Let's pretend we have another fully put together balance here. What I like to do is I like to put it in the orientation that I'm going to do it in. You can use gloves on this. I would recommend it. The gloves that I have are a little thick, so I'm probably going to singe my fingers a little bit here, but these are the standard glass removal gloves. So you want a little dexterity. So you start the process all over again, and once again, we're not going to try to smooth any of this out yet. We're just going to get the balance system back in.
You see the memory took it right back to normal with the heat.
So, try to open that up. If I can get this in. And this is where I say it's a little critical. And this is why I should probably use some gloves. But I don't have the right ones on me. And once again, when this is stationary, there it goes. Yeah, you can kind of move it back some. Sorry if I'm in the way. There it goes. Okay, now, once you get it in, what I do is I put it up in the orientation it's supposed to. Sometimes on these you can push them in some. Well, I should do it all on because it slides to and fro. As you can see on this manipulates. It's the same one on either side.
Okay.
And you always want the balance system to face this way so you don't see the metal coil when it moves up and down. So you want it facing towards you.
Okay.
So now that that's completed, what we can do is we take our two screws, and in this particular instance, we can go in the existing holes if the screws were stripped though, you would want to go slightly lower. Might help if I went the right direction. I'm going to put one in. And it's very easy to see where these go. There's a little opening right there. And that helps to give it some structural rigidity. So, now what you do, this doesn't look good, but we're going to fix it. So, same thing. Where before I used it for about 30 seconds, here you're just going to kind of move it around to see where it shapes. It could be a few, it could be more. Just let your eyes be your guide. You don't want to put too much heat on it directly though, because what will happen is you will start to burn the material. It will start to bubble. That's bad. If that happens, you need to immediately stop. That's cool. So, I'm just going to kind of work it down in kind of a circular fashion. Kind of just touch it. And this particular piece, we've heated it over and over again, just to practice on this for this video. And you see it's coming together a little bit more here. We'll hit it some more down. You may not be able to see real well, but that looks pretty good right there. What you can do is you can use a spatula. It's actually best if you have a chisel and you could kind of smooth it out there. And what you'll want to do is continue doing this until it hardens, because it will take that shape, and then once it completely cools, probably take about a minute or so. And this may seem a little redundant, but the more you do that, the more it will stiffen up and straighten out.
Okay.
And then once it's cool, then you just go through the regular process. Put your balance back in place, set your sashes, and those tend to slide up because the whole balance moves. And pop it in, and you're done.
Cool.